You don't cause anyone's feelings. And I know we think we do.
That's the beginning of the
Hello, Facebook world. Here we are.
Tell me hello, whether you join me live right now, or if you're catching that on the replay, please say hello. Tell me where you're from too. You know, I love to hear that. I love to hear how far reaching this can be. I'm Amy, amyloganlife.com is my website. I am a life coach and I specialize in the world of post-Mormonism. Really post-religion. I have clients who are leaving lots of different faiths and they find their way to me and I help guide them and navigate them through that process that comes after you leave something that you never thought you would. I love it because we sing a same song. I know I've talked about that before. And last week I was lucky enough to interview David Hayward from The Naked Pastor. If you haven't seen his stuff, go check him out. And we're working on editing that video. So hopefully I'll get that up here in the next few weeks. Anyway, in the meantime, I just wanted to say hi. And I have some new readers. So I was going to start with these ones. I'm going to show you do I have them all here? Yes, I do. I have them all here. What do you guys think about these? These are my new readers. I'm trying them out. They're a little out there. They may just be ones I use in the house. I don't know, but there's those. I'm digging these ones. These are I love that. They're like they have flowers on them. My thing's backwards. Can you see that? Kind of pretty. And then these I've ordered the same ones I've had before. Do you guys wear readers? These are fun too. Anyway, I do wear readers. I now need them all the time. So that was kind of fun. I wanted to share them with you. Let me know which ones are your favorite. Maybe the big turquoise ones. I don't know. Yeah, so a couple things. August has been crazy fun. Lots of interviews, and I'm going to be interviewing. Next week, we're doing a two-way interview, which is going to be fun. I'm going to interview Crystal Escobar. She has written this book. Let me see if you can you see this? Where am I? Oh my gosh, you guys, here we go. She's written this book, My Life as a Wannabe Balanced Mom. She's also left the church, and so we have a lot in common there. I'm going to interview her and talk to her, and she's going to turn around and interview me, and we're going to share it with all of our people. So I will be doing that on the 30th, of course. Then that means some editing and some time in between when I get it up. I'll probably post it on YouTube as well. But August has been just a fun month. So as you see the question that I have here, I want you to be thinking about this before we dive into it. I have a couple other things I want to talk to you about. What thought are you addicted to? I bet you've never thought about it this way. So I want you to just kind of digest that and think. Another way to look at it is, what do you struggle with the most in life? And what do you find it is your thing? What is the thing you struggle with? And I'm going to say there's a connection between the thoughts you think about it and the struggle you find yourself in. So that's the road we're going to go down here in a little bit. Before I do that, I want to invite you to be my client. I want you to work with me. I want to be your life coach. I love this so dang much. And I see the changes in my clients as we work on this. So I have no shame, no fear. You're invited. I want you to work with me. Now, the reason you hire a life coach is because you feel like you need, now I'm not an accountability coach. So for example, if you saw my post a little while down, I talk about homework, right? So I have you in session, and our session time is just so beautiful together. And we always get to some deep place. But after our session, within 24 hours of meeting with me, I write you session notes mixed with some love. Sometimes it's tough love. Sometimes I just shower with you with love. Wherever we needed to go in that session, I take time to send you an email. And those actually take quite a bit of time. And I love that part of this, because what that does is I give you homework. I don't grade you. It is something that you can choose to do or not. But what it does is it allows you to take the tool that we worked on and then process it and work on it during the week until we meet again. And so that is the purpose of that. It is for your benefit. But you pick a life coach to help you, where I can get in and guide you through the tools on a little deeper level and really go to where you need to go specifically. So that's what I do. So my rates do go up September 1st. So I have some clients buying multiple packages. Right now I have a session package. That's the only way to work with me right now. So that's what's available. Message me. Let's get to work. There's work to be done, and you can be feeling better. You can work through some of the things that scare you about leaving the church or just in life. Really, my niche just gets people in front of me. And then once you're in front of me, we go to all the different places. All right, just so you know that. You don't even have to be post-Mormon. You could be Mormon. You could be post-Mormon. You could be post-anything. You could just be confused about life. Come to me. I will take good care of you. So have you thought about the question that I've asked? What thought are you addicted to? And like I said, I want you to go back to whatever it is that is your struggle. What do you struggle with the most in life? We usually have something that's reoccurring, right? And so what I was always taught is this will keep coming up in your life until you're ready to solve it, kind of thing, right? That you have things to learn from it. What I love about life coaching and the tools that I use with my clients is we kind of get there quicker. And all the tools that I teach and work with my clients with are things that are shortcuts, but for sure need practicing. I still practice all of this stuff every day. Learning to manage your mind will be the greatest gift you can give yourself. So thinking about what thought you are addicted to the most. If you're watching this now, a few of you are here, or catching this on the replay, tell me what it is and what I want you to do with that. And you might not even be able to find the thought. That's the thing. We think our thoughts are true. We think they're facts. So no matter what it is, if you want to have a better relationship with your partner, if you want to have better relationships with your children, if you want to be a better employee at work, if you want to figure out how to tell your family you're leaving the church or that you've left, if you want to lose weight, all right, whatever it is, you have thoughts that come up around it, right? And we don't think about being addicted to our thoughts, but did you know at any moment of any given day, you can stop thinking about that problem the way you've been thinking about it. And that is huge. But this is what I go over with my clients. Sometimes they can't see. So I'm the mirror. I always say this. I'm the mirror to your brain and what's going on. I teach you how to look at what's happening in your brain. But finding that thought and pulling it out. And sometimes we might work on one thought for several weeks because we're so addicted to it, we don't even see that we keep getting caught up in it because we don't really know there's another way. All right. So, you know, weight's always such an easy one to look at. A lot of us struggle with that. Even saying that, it's so hard. I struggle with this. I can't seem to figure it out. It never works. I always gain the weight back if I lose it. Okay. Do you hear all of those ways your brain is making up shit? Okay, it is deciding ahead of time that you're going to fail at this. You're not going to be able to figure it out. What if you changed it up and you said to yourself, I'm going to figure this out. I know there are people who have done this. I can do this too. What happens is there are physical sensations going on in your body. So when you go down the road that I just talked about, like, I can't do this. This is so hard. I'm going to be this way forever. In whatever it is, even if it's in a relationship you're in or whatever, when you change the questions you ask yourself, literally your whole life can change. But we don't think of it that way. Seriously, we become addicted to our thoughts. And the thing that you struggle with the most, like, look around your life. What keeps coming up for you? What thoughts do you have on repeat? And I love that. One of the things when I was speaking at Sunstone at the beginning of the month, was I was teaching and talking about this tool that a thought is just a sentence in your brain. And then we place a whole bunch on top of that to make it true for us. But that doesn't make it true or real, right? It is the lens through which you are viewing this. So it's the same thing with when people leave the Mormon faith, and I would assume this is the same with any faith. They've made the decision. They're taking the steps to do that, to leave, however that looks like for them. But one of the things that comes up all the time is, how do I tell my family? How do I tell my spouse? How do I tell my kids? How do I tell my parents? How do I tell my friends? This is by far the biggest thing that people get stuck in. What you think is that you breaking the news, right? So insert whatever your thing is you struggle with. You breaking the news on that thing, if this is the particular situation, is that you are responsible for the thoughts of the person you're going to tell. Can you imagine how powerful that would be if we were responsible for everyone's thoughts and we could make them think whatever, right? That would be a superpower, right? What we don't believe is that you don't cause anyone's feelings. And I know we think we do. If you are the bearer of bad news, which we know when we've left the church, that they're going to hurt. They're going to have a bunch of feelings. They are going to be worried about you, right? They're going to have all of these thoughts and feelings. All of their thoughts and feelings are tied to the beliefs that they have. And those beliefs are their thoughts on repeat. So this goes if you think shitty things about yourself, if you think great things about yourself, if you think wonderful things about your partner or about your boss at work, your best friend, right, your children. Those are all thoughts that you have in your head that just are in there and we don't even think about it. But anyone doing something, you get to manage your mind. If someone tells you bad news, you're responsible for how you think and feel. And this is a huge one because we don't want to think that. That's a thought too, right? I don't want to think that what so-and-so did to me or said to me over there, like I have strong feelings that they shouldn't have said that. Well, those are just feelings that are connected to your thought. Everything I do is connected from your heart to your head, okay? That's where we go. Those are thoughts, and we learn how to manage them. And there are so many things that we can talk about when we get to specifics about your specific situation. But this is the secret to life, you guys. All of this. When you can learn to manage your mind and know that no one's responsible for your thoughts and feelings except for you, no matter what someone else has done, and vice versa. All right. Hey, Brenda. Woohoo. All right. Then your world can change, because we often stay stuck because we're afraid of hurting someone's feelings. They may for sure, if you tell them you've left the church, they for sure are going to have feelings, like I said, and thoughts. But they get to decide. Hey, John, they get to decide what they want to make that mean, what they're going to think and feel about it. But that doesn't make it true for you. So if you're spinning in that space of trying to please others, people pleasing, that's a whole other thing. And I'll do a people pleasing Facebook Live one of these times. Right now, I just want you to think about what I've just said. And I want you to think about what thought you're addicted to, because you can make huge changes in your life if you can find the thought. Now, the tricky part is deciding, because you will resist this because you think that thought is a fact. And so that's where the tricky part is. And I always have ways that I can help navigate that. But this is where the work is. This is what it's all about. It's you managing your mind and making decisions for yourself, right? This is also authenticity. Decisions for yourself that feel good to you, even if it's not what your family or friends think you should do, all right? Or we don't even have to be talking about the church here. We could be talking about anything else. That's what being authentic is. But because we're so afraid of what other people are going to think about us, we put off doing what's in our best interest. So I would love to hear your thoughts about this, whether you're here right now or you are catching this on the replay. And like I said, I have to go back and forth to see who's here. This is powerful stuff, and getting in your brain is so much fun. Like I see these moments with my client where all of a sudden that light bulb, like they get it. And sometimes it's fleeting, and this is why life coaching is so powerful, is I see that happening, and it's kind of like last night I had this dream, and I remember I woke up about 5 o'clock this morning, and I thought, oh my gosh, I need to talk about this. And then I fell back asleep, and then it was gone. And I talk about dreams, how they're like fleeting thoughts, right? Because dreams are kind of our subconscious working through things when we sleep. Sometimes we remember our dreams, sometimes we can't, but I remember very vividly waking up going, oh my gosh. And of course, a lot of people say, have a dream journal, you can write it down, all that stuff. Of course, I didn't do that because I thought, how could I forget this? And this is what happens when I work with my clients, is because those neural pathways are in our brain and we've developed the habit of thinking a certain way, we quickly slip into our old patterns, even when we have a moment of it. So that's why I'm giving you that kind of the connection with the dream, is that it's like, I was just there, like I had the full-on dream and it was a really good one, and I wanted to break it down in real life and see if I could find some meaning to it, right? But now I literally cannot remember. I remember having the feeling, but I can't remember the dream. And so when clients come in front of me, and I meet with them once a week for a certain amount of weeks, and we'll work on a concept, and I can tell they're like, yeah, I get this. This is good. But then the next week I can see that it gets foggy again. And so that's why we keep repeating it, because it takes a while. If you've spent 30, 40, 50, 60 years thinking a certain thought or thinking a certain way about yourself, for sure it's going to take longer than one session or 1 week or one book that you read to kind of make that breakthrough, because then you have to practice it, and you have to practice it on purpose. And that's where we struggle, because it's much more comfortable to slip into our default thinking. By default thinking, I mean the way that you're used to thinking without even thinking about it. That's a lot to take in, you guys. Okay, Brenda, sometimes you think you have it figured out, and then something happens to trigger those thoughts again. It's a daily process, a minute-to-minute process. Knowing how to manage those feelings is life-changing. Yes. It totally is. And we've done a lot of work on that. But it's so fascinating. Hey, Nicole. Oh my gosh. I love you, my dear. It's been way too long. Oh my gosh. Now I see your comment over here. Facebook. Show me the comments. They're listening. This is how you make changes in your life. And oftentimes we think it all resides with other people, right? Other people are responsible for what we think. I can promise you that's not true. I can show you how you can find out why you're responsible for it each and every time. It's an amazing, amazing process. So this is your homework. What thought are you addicted to? What keeps coming up in your mind that you keep thinking the same way about? So then just an easy way to test it is just to tweak it a little bit. Doesn't even have to be drastic, right? Tweak it a little bit and see what that brings up for you. If you start feeling uncomfortable and your brain's like, no, I'd rather be, it's like we kind of get addicted to the misery in a weird, twisted way, right? We're like, I'm uncomfortable with that and I want to change it in my life. But what that really means is you have to then be willing to change your thoughts, which means when it comes back and you want to slip back into default setting, you have to go, oh, no, we're doing this differently now. And that's where the work is, and that's where the practice is each and every time. It's good stuff, you guys. So much good stuff. Just come be my client. I'll show you all the tools and all the magic, and I will be your mirror. I can show you this. This is my favorite thing. I love this. And it's funny because I never coach without permission. That's a very sensitive thing. So like if I see someone and in my head, of course, that means I'm judging and I think my way's better. Kind of is, but that's just a thought too. I'm like, if they only knew to look at it this way, right? I could show them how that doesn't have to be this painful. I can show them how their life can improve. I can show them these things because there's so much and you're so worth it. Whether you're my client or not, what you put into studying your own brain and researching it and practicing a new way to be, most of us don't even think that there's another way to think because we're so ingrained in our thoughts, right? So if you've left the Mormon faith or any other faith, you've experienced this complete paradigm shift. And that's why it's painful, right? A paradigm shift is taking something you've seen a certain way and completely seeing it like even if you just move over a few degrees this way, you're looking at that thing differently. And when it's a belief that you've had, and this can be a belief about yourself, but in this particular case, we're talking about the way you viewed your religion, it's painful because you've literally gotten out of that neural pathway in your brain. And so your brain is hurting, right? It's creating all these new thoughts about what you thought was real and true, and now it's not. And that not only hurts in your head, but it hurts in your heart. And that's why you go through this process. That's why it's hard. That's why you hurt. I remember thinking, and if some of you have experienced this, when I was going through my faith crisis, and I do call it a crisis because at the time it was, Now I don't say that so much anymore because I'm thankful for it. I love that that happened to me, even though it caused some ruckus in my life at the time. I'm thankful for that because my brain is literally different. That neural pathway has changed and I am developing a new one with ways that are more healthy for me to think. And that's why I love what that was. What I'm trying to explain to you is that's what it feels like. So when you're trying to change beliefs about yourself, whether it's something like I'm not enough or I'm not worthy or I'm too this or I'm too that, to get to the place where you have a complete paradigm shift around yourself, it's going to take, it might hurt your brain and it might hurt your heart for a little bit. Like I think of like people who have money issues and struggle with money, right? Oh, I'm just bad with money. Oh, I can't make enough money. I'm never going to have enough. You can be addicted to that way of thinking. And if you're addicted to that way of thinking, everything's going to keep showing up in that way until you go, I have to look at this differently. So that's what I say when I say, yeah, I specialize in post-Mormon life, but when you get in front of me, we talk about all, right? Because that's one aspect of your life, but it has a ripple effect. And you might have something else that you need coaching on, and that itself has a ripple effect for your life too. I geek out. I just geek out over this stuff all the time. My brain's constantly researching and reading and trying to even fine tune my skills as I fully go into this because I'm in love with it. Like that's my thought, and I'm going to stick to that one because it makes me feel good. You can also find out what your thoughts are if you can identify the feeling that you've connected with the thought. And when you have that feeling, so if you're feeling pretty crappy about yourself, hey Trina, if you're feeling crappy about yourself, what are you thinking that's leading to that feeling? So that feeling will always be connected to a thought. So if you're having a bad day, what is the main thought going across your head that's contributing to that feeling? All right. And that's when you can start to see it. And sometimes you're not going to want to see it, or you're so committed to what that thought is that you don't want to change it. And that's fine too. You can only change this in your own time. But that's how the thought and the heart, right? So we think something and we feel something, and then we make a decision or we stay stuck based on those two things. So it sounds really basic. It's never that simple, but logically it is. But it's our emotions that will get us every time. But your emotions are always connected to a thought that you have spinning in your head. All right? Oh, it's good stuff. Come be my client and I'll show you even more. Okay, I think that's it. Please tell me hello if you're here and where you're viewing from. And I've thought about starting a weekly like I used to do with the life show, and maybe I'll just keep calling it that. I still love that. It's like a certain time every week. So we can plan it, meet together instead of me just popping on here whenever I feel like I have time. All right, you guys, thank you. Thanks for the thumbs up and all of that and the love and the hearts. I love you guys, and I know you're worth what you need to do to get yourself mentally healthy and to work towards that. And even though you get frustrated, it's okay. And you get up, you dust off, and you try again. All right, that's what this life's about. All right, love you guys. See you soon.